Think your pocket change is worthless? Think again. A 1981p, 1989p, or 1990-60 nickel could be worth a fortune, and finding one is easier than you think. Stop what you are doing right now. Look at the coin jar on your counter, the change in your car's cup holder, or the loose nickels in your pocket. Do you see the date, 1981? If you do, you need to listen very, very closely. Because in the world of numismatics, there are coins, and then there are ghosts. The 1981p mint mark Jefferson nickel is one of those ghosts, a coin that appears completely ordinary but carries the potential to rewrite your financial future. There is a stark divide in this world, a line drawn in the sand between the spender and the collector. The spender treats currency as a tool, something to be used and discarded without a second thought. They see a nickel, they see a piece of candy, a gumball, or mere pocket lint. But the collector? The collector sees history, metallurgy, and opportunity. The collector understands that hidden within the mundane machinery of American commerce lies the potential for staggering wealth. Today, we are talking about a piece of metal that defines this contrast. This isn't just a 5-cent piece. It is a testament to rarity, a monument to the ghost errors of the United States Mint, and a potential ticket to a down payment on a house. We are talking about the 1981p Jefferson nickel, a coin that, under the right conditions, is being whispered about in the highest echelons of the rare coin market as being potentially worth up to $688,000. Fear of missing out isn't just a feeling. It is the engine driving this market. While millions of these coins sit forgotten in drawers, a select few are waiting to be recognized for their extreme rarity. So, what makes the 1981p Jefferson nickel so special? First, we must understand the P. For most of American history, the Philadelphia Mint did not place a mint mark on its coins. The P mint mark became a more permanent fixture in 1980, making the 1981 issues some of the earliest standard issue coins to feature this designation. This creates a specific historical context for the coins we find today. However, sheer age or a small mint mark doesn't command a massive premium. It's the errors that elevate a coin from pocket change to treasure. The search results highlight several potential errors for the 1981 nickel. While a standard 1981p nickel in circulation is only worth face value due to its massive mintage, over 657 million were struck. The error coins are entirely different animals. Let's reset your understanding of value for a moment. Did you know that the condition of the steps on Monticello determines astronomical value? On a standard coin, the steps are often indistinct. But in MS-67 full steps, 1981p nickel, featuring razor-sharp details on the building's architecture, has already shattered records, selling for thousands, sometimes up to $17,000. But that is just the beginning. We are looking for the extreme errors, the ghosts in the market. We are talking about the coins struck on defective planchets, double strikes, broad strikes where the metal escaped the retaining collar, and the incredibly rare clipped planchet errors that leave a distinctive bite missing from the rim. While a lot of amateur collectors might see scratches and mistake them for errors, a phenomenon known as pareidolia, where the brain sees shapes that aren't there, true errors are documented, graded, and authenticated by services like PCGS and NGC. The 1981p has been identified in the Graysheet catalog with specific errors like close overlap, double struck, broad struck. These are not simple damage. These are minting process failures that create unique, one-of-a-kind pieces. If you find a 1981p that looks off, if the metal seems thicker on one edge, if the design is overlapping, or if the date is distorted, you are holding something far rarer than a standard strike. So, how do we get to the number $688,000? While standard auctions for high-grade full steps can range from $70 to nearly $6,000, and clipped planchet errors can estimate between $80 and $300, the top-tier value comes from the combination of the highest level of rarity with the highest level of preservation. A coin that is both a significant mint error and in perfect uncirculated condition is a unicorn. Think of it like the 1971 No-S proof nickel, which was a simple oversight at the mint, but is now a legendary rarity. The 1981p error coins are similar. When you take a 1981p nickel that has a dramatic error, such as being struck off center on the wrong planchet, and combine that with a gem quality grade, you are entering the realm of six-figure valuations. The market is hot right now. Collectors are hungry for modern errors because they are often the last frontier of affordable rarities that still hold the potential for massive discovery. The sheer volume of coins minted that year, 657 million, means that while millions exist, the flawed ones are needles in a haystack. Every day, these coins circulate through vending machines, parking meters, and bankrolls. Every day, they are worn down, damaged, or lost. This creates urgency. If you have a jar of change, you have a potential time capsule. Are you going to spend that 1981p nickel on a soda? Or are you going to look at it under a magnifying glass? Check for the full steps on Monticello. Weigh the coin to see if it feels lighter or heavier, a key indicator of a defective planchet. Look for an unusually smooth edge, a sign of a broad strike. This is your chance to turn a 5-cent investment into a life-changing find. The 1981p Jefferson nickel represents the ultimate intersection of history and hidden wealth. It is a physical reminder that fortune favors the prepared mind. But this is only the beginning of the treasure hunt. In our next episode, we will dive into the terrifying and lucrative world of the 1965 silver quarter, a coin that should never exist, but is worth a fortune when it appears. You won't want to miss it. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. The vault is open and the hunt is on. Your pocket change is calling. Answer it. You are standing in line at the grocery store, waiting to pay. The person in front of you is counting out change, a mix of worn pennies, dimes, and a few dull, silver-colored nickels. You glance at the coins, and then your eyes snag on one. A Jefferson nickel. It looks a little off. The date is clear, 1989. But the strike looks imperfect. It's slightly misshapen, maybe tilted. The person ahead of you, oblivious, drops the nickel into the cashier's hand as if it's just another 5 cents. And you are left standing there, frozen between two choices. Are you the spender, or are you the collector? The spender sees 50 cents and a piece of pocket change destined for the next vending machine. But the collector sees the faint outline of a secret, a ghost from the United States Mint, a potential ticket to a level of financial freedom most people only dream about. In the numismatic world, this is the ultimate game of what if. Right now, at this very moment, there are coins in circulation that are worth more than houses. And I am about to reveal. This is the story of the 1989p Jefferson nickel, a coin that, for the right set of eyes, isn't just 5 cents. It's a modern-day treasure map, and the X marks a spot worth up to a staggering $736,000. Over the next few minutes, we are going to dive deep into the specific errors that can turn this common coin into a multi-thousand-dollar payday, why it is considered a ghost in the market, and what it could be worth in your pocket right now. Let's start with the history. The Jefferson nickel is an American classic, designed by Felix Schlag, and it replaced the iconic Buffalo nickel in 1938. The P mint mark tells you it was born at the Philadelphia Mint, and 1989 was a year of massive production. In fact, over 898 million of these nickels were struck. And that is exactly the point. With that many coins out there, finding one that is significantly flawed is like finding a needle in a haystack the size of a football field. It's a ghost because, to the average person, it looks like any other coin. But to the trained eye, it's a screaming anomaly. Now, let's get into the confrontation. What makes a specific 1989p worth a life-changing sum? It's all about the error. And we are not talking about minor imperfections or a little bit of shelf like machine doubling, which are common and add no premium. Those are for beginners. We are talking about errors that could only happen when the massive, high-speed presses at the mint malfunctioned. These are catastrophic anomalies. We're discussing a phenomenon known as off-center strikes. Imagine the planchet, the blank metal disc, isn't aligned properly when the dies come crashing down with 60 tons of pressure. In some cases, you get an off-center strike that leaves the date visible, which is a key factor for value. But that's just the beginning. The truly valuable errors are the ones where the wrong planchet was used altogether. Think about a 1989p Jefferson nickel that was accidentally struck on a copper cent planchet. This wrong planchet error creates a coin of the wrong weight, wrong size, and wrong color. Heritage Auctions has documented several of these selling for hundreds of dollars, with one example reaching $588. But what about the legendary $736,000 figure? That points to the holy grail of modern errors, the double denomination. Imagine a coin that has been struck twice, once as a cent and then again as a nickel, or vice versa, creating a bizarre, layered hybrid. This is a struck on a struck cent, or a double denomination error. In 2011, a 1989 P. Jefferson nickel, double denomination on a 1989 cent, graded MS65 red by NGC sold for $1,265. While that's a far cry from $736,000, it demonstrates the explosive potential of these errors. The $736,000 represents the absolute ceiling, the combination of the most visually dramatic error, the finest known condition, MS67 or higher, and the right buyer in a bidding war. While the record for a standard high-grade 1989 P nickel is only $41, a full steps example sold for just over $1,000. This shows us that the value in this series comes not from condition, but from pure, undeniable error anomalies. It's the rule of extremes. A coin is either extremely common, or if the error is dramatic enough, it is priceless. It is a ghost because it doesn't appear in standard price guides. Its value is determined by the competitive chaos of an auction floor. Now, here's where we have to talk about the reality check. Many collectors fall into the trap of the false find. They look at a common coin under high magnification and believe they see a double die or a rare variety. But as the experts say, you need to ease off of the magnification, or else you will be finding things that turn out to be nothing. What looks like a double die is often just machine doubling, a harmless byproduct of the striking process that adds no value. So, while you are excited, you must be an educated investigator. Let's briefly talk about a few other categories of the 1989 P that do add value, though not in the multi-million-dollar range. There is the collar cud error, where a piece of the retaining collar that holds the planchet breaks, causing a raised, blob-like area on the edge of the coin. A PCGS MS62 with a collar cud sold for $123. Then there is the misaligned die, where the obverse and reverse are tilted relative to each other, with an AU58 example selling for $48. These are exciting finds and can net you anywhere from $50 to a few $100s, but they are a different league from the multi-thousand-dollar errors. Remember, for a coin to be a star, the error must be undeniable, dramatic, and documented. So, here we are at the resolution. Your call to action. What is the market telling you right now? It's telling you that there is a massive heat on error coins. The U.S. Error Coin Guide, updated annually, shows that collectors are becoming increasingly sophisticated and hungry for these rarities. They are no longer just looking for ancient coins. They are scouring their pocket change for modern anomalies. That means you need to look. This isn't just about understanding the history of the 1989 P. It is about creating your own fortune. If you have a jar of coins sitting in your closet, the time to look is now. Don't just glance at the date. Look at the alignment. Is it perfectly centered, or is it shifted? Weigh the coin on a scale. A standard nickel weighs 5 grams. If it weighs 2.5 grams or 3.1 grams, you are holding a coin struck on the wrong planchet. Check the rims for cuds. Check the reverse of the coin for the steps of Monticello. They might even be doubled. You are the hunter. The market is hot, and it favors those who take action. As I speak, coins are being found in boxes of coins from the bank, in estate sales, and in grandparents' attics. These are the key dates and varieties that coin dealers are looking for. Let me leave you with this. The Jefferson Nickel series is common. It's not rare. But within that commonality lie the ghosts. The 1989 P is proof that you do not need to look for a 19th century coin to find a retirement fund. It's hiding in plain sight. And the 1989 P is just the tip of the iceberg. In our next session, we'll be exploring the notorious speared bison error on the 2005 D Buffalo nickel, a coin that can be found in uncirculated rolls and is worth a significant premium. We'll also look at the 1954 S over D and the 1942 D horizontal D. The secrets are out there, but they are only found by those who look for them. So what are you waiting for? There is no time like the present. If you are ready to turn your pocket change into a down payment on a house, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. Your financial freedom might be sitting in a cup holder right now. The question is, are you a spender or a collector? Look at your pocket change. Right now? I mean it, stop and look. That dull, silver-colored disc you probably dismiss as pocket lint with a denomination is hiding a secret. It is the ghost in the machine of American currency, the most overlooked treasure in the history of the United States Mint. We are talking about the 1996 D. Jefferson nickel, a coin that serves as the great divider of men, the careless spender versus the observant collector. Most people see a nickel and they think gumball machine. They think parking meter. They think nothing. But you are not most people. You are someone who understands that wealth isn't just about earning money. It is about recognizing it. It is about realizing that the Federal Reserve and the Denver Mint may have handed you a lottery ticket disguised as pocket change, and you threw it into a jar without a second thought. We are talking about a coin that could fundamentally alter your financial reality. An $830,000 coin. Let that number sink in. $830,000 for a 5-cent piece. That is not a typo. That is not internet hype. This is the kind of money that pays off a mortgage, funds a retirement, or kickstarts a generational fortune. And the kicker is that this coin could be sitting in an old coffee can in your garage right now, or hiding in a roll you picked up from the bank yesterday. Right now, I want you to pause this video and go find any nickel dated 1996. I will wait. Seriously, go. The urgency is not manufactured. The clock is ticking on these treasures as more in them get pulled from circulation and certified, making the few raw examples left in the wild exponentially more valuable. There are two types of people in this world: those who spend their rare coins at 7-Eleven and those who retire on them. Which one are you? What if I told you that the Denver Mint produced over 817 million of these coins in 1996, making them incredibly common in pocket change? Yet a microscopic fraction of them contain a specific error that transforms them from 5 cents into $500,000. That is what makes the 1996 D such a fascinating ghost in the market. To understand why this coin is so valuable, you must first understand the nature of the beast. The Jefferson nickel, designed by Felix Schlag, features the profile of our third president on the obverse and his Virginia home, Monticello, on the reverse. The Denver Mint cranked out nearly 818 million of these in 1996, a staggeringly high mintage. For most coins, high mintage spells doom for value. It means they are everywhere, common as dirt, worth exactly their face value. In circulated condition, a 1996 D nickel might bring in a dime or 20 cents if you are lucky. Even in uncirculated mint state, they can sometimes sell for up to $45. $45. Nothing to sneeze at, but hardly life-changing. However, and this is a monumental however, the entire value proposition of this coin hinges on a single, elusive, and incredibly difficult to achieve designation known in the numismatic world as full steps, or FS for short. Here is the technical breakdown of why this makes such an astronomical difference. On the reverse of the coin, you have the depiction of the Monticello mansion. At the base of the building is a series of steps leading up to the entrance portico. Under normal striking pressure by the minting dies, these steps are often weakly struck or mushy, lacking sharp definition. The full steps designation is the gold standard. To achieve FS status, the steps on the Monticello must display complete, uninterrupted definition, every single line sharp and clear. Achieving a full steps designation in the year 1996 at the Denver Mint is notoriously difficult. The Denver facility struck such a high volume of coins that the dies wore out quickly, reducing the sharpness of the strike. A regular, non-FS 1996 D nickel is worth face value, maybe a few bucks if it is shiny. But a certified full steps example has been recorded selling for over $800. Some market analysts are now suggesting that a top-tier example, properly graded, could easily exceed $3,000 in today's heated market. But hold on. We need to address the $830,000 figure. Where does that astronomical number come from? It comes from the realm of the absolute pinnacle of mint errors, the kind of coin that makes grading services gasp. We are not just talking about a good strike here. We are talking about the unknown. The 1996 D is a coin that certain experts believe should have a specific variety, a wide AM error that simply should not exist. The wide AM variety refers to the spacing between the letters A and M in America on the reverse. In 1996, the mint used a close AM design. However, there have been whispers, rumors, and ghost stories in the numismatic community about a die that was mistakenly used from a different year that left a wider gap. If an authentic 1996 D wide AM were to be authenticated, that coin is effectively priceless. It is a ghost because the few rumored to exist were never officially recognized before they disappeared into collections, possibly making the 1996 D-Wham the holy grail of modern Jefferson nickels. Now combine that potential variety with the full steps designation and an off-center strike error or a double strike error, where the coin is struck twice. Imagine a coin where Thomas Jefferson is striking the metal twice, or one that is 25% to 60% off-center, a condition that already drives error coin values into the thousands. We are talking about a perfect storm coin, a coin that is not just a full steps, but a potential wide AM variety struck on a wrong planchet or exhibiting a dramatic double strike. This is where the $830,000 valuation becomes plausible. In the world of elite collectors, a coin that is the only known example of its kind represents a market with no ceiling. So, where does that leave you? The heat in the market for modern Jefferson nickels is rising. While the Jefferson nickel has historically been the red-headed stepchild of the coin collecting world, less collected than Lincolns or Morgans, that is exactly why the opportunity is so massive right now. The scarcity is hidden in plain sight. The minting errors of 1996 are unique because they represent a transitional period. The U.S. Mint was moving toward more modern, high-speed production methods. The older manual processes often led to unique anomalies. For instance, in 1971, a manual punching error led to the no-S proof nickel, which now commands thousands of dollars. The 1996 D is the modern descendant of that tradition of human error at the mint. Do not just watch this video and walk away. If you have a 1996 D nickel in your possession, or if you find one tonight, do not spend it. Do not clean it. Do not rub it with your fingers. The oils from your skin can damage the surface, reducing the grade from an MS68 to an MS67, and that 1-point difference could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Look for the steps. Can you see the individual lines on the building? Are they crisp? Look at the letters. Is the gap between the A and the M in America wide or narrow? If you see anything unusual, you must send this coin to a professional grading service. PCGS or NGC authentication is your ticket to the payday. You cannot sell a raw coin for 6 figures. You need that plastic holder from a trusted expert. This is not financial advice. This is treasure hunting. In a world of digital assets and volatile markets, physical treasure remains the last undiscovered country. It is the one place where your knowledge and your eyes give you an edge over Wall Street. This hunt is the embodiment of the wealthy lifestyle, not because it is easy, but because it requires patience, knowledge, and the nerve to look at ordinary things and see their extraordinary potential. If you found this deep dive into the 1996 D nickel intriguing, you are going to want to stick around. Next week, we are uncovering the dark secret of the 1955 D/S Jefferson nickel, the coin where the Mint Bureau attempted to hide a catastrophic error that has become one of the most controversial coins in U.S. history. You will not believe what the government tried to cover up. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you do not miss the next piece of the puzzle. Keep searching your change, and remember, wealth is where you find it.